Welcome to part 2 of the Aces of the Week for the second week of January, this time focusing solely on the Heavies. So, without further ado, we've got some absolutely fantastic gameplay coming up across most of the higher tiers, so let's have a look at your Heavy Aces of the Week in this week's gallery. Hello again everybody and welcome back to Fujit's Blitz, and as I said in the intro, this is part 2 of the Aces of the Week for the 2nd of January, this time just focusing on the heavy tanks. And first off, without further ado, we have a good friend of mine, the Tiger 345 from the clan 3XFE, rolling out in his namesake, the Tiger 1, the German tier 7 heavy tank on the EU server. Now, let's just get it out there right away. I absolutely love this tank. It's iconic. This is the tank that everybody talked about when I was growing up. There were loads of models of it. Everybody wanted pictures of it. You know, this was the tank that was dreaded during World War II. Now, in Blitz, it's equally as dominant at its tier. I mean, it's got a HP of 1,450, it's got a decent view range, DPM's just above average on 2,412. Penetration is 203 with your standard AP, rising to 237 with your APCR. This is without all the bells and whistles of calibrated shells. Does a damage at 220 on your standard AP. Has a reload time of just shy of 6 seconds, has a rate of fire of 10, well, just shy of 11 rounds a minute. Got a pretty poor aim time at just under 3 seconds. Not really great depression at 7%, and its mobility is pretty good for a heavy tank at 44 kilometers an hour. As you can see here, we're only 2 minutes into the game, and already 3XFE has done 1,286 damage, bounced 220, and is being pretty dominant. I do like this tank. Its armor is fantastic if you angle it and wiggle it and jiggle it and put it in the right place. Okay, it's got one of those strange German armors where the lower glacis plate is easy to pen and you'll get an engine fire. So hence the reason why the Tiger 345 is stuck it behind this mound. You can't get to it then, all you've got is the turret. Oh, yeah, there you go. Kill number 1, 1,900 damage, and he's bounced just shy of 1,000. This is how you play a Tiger. And there's another Tiger 1, and he's not long for this world, only on 185 hit points. That's an easy one-shot for the Tiger 345. Panther gets in a nice shot from the side, however, so he's got to reevaluate himself and wonder, where do I go next, T43 or Panther? You can see the T43 over sight gets a great roll into there and a lovely bounce at the same time of over 200. I mean, this tank is great. It is a true heavy. It's a brawler, it's a bully, and it's got a fantastic gun. And in the right hands, this thing is a beast on the battlefield. You know, a lot of people realistically would be scared of this tank. Not so much in Blitz. I mean, you see a Tiger when you think, yeah, pretty easy. However, in the right hands, as I say, this thing is formidable. It really is a beastie. And look at that. Look at the way he angles to that Panther and gets that massive bounce. And now, you know, he's only on 371 hit points. He's angling away, and the Panther just can't do anything about it. Kill number 3. 3,167 damage. Blocks 1,520. That is a fantastic roll. And the Tiger 1 is actually a tricky tank to master, funnily enough. And that is a lovely game. And I'd like to thank the Tiger 345 for sharing that replay with us. Truly deserve that mastery. Next up, another good friend of mine, Fizzy11. He previously with the clan Mud, now rolls out in my clan, FTC1. Yay! He's rolling out on the T34 1776, as it's known in the EU, but it's sometimes also known as the T34 Independence. This is the American Tier 8 premium tank, which is basically the same as the T34, but with funkier camo. This tank first made an appearance quite a while back as a premium for Independence Day for the US, and has recently made another appearance in the Black Friday sale, so quite a lot of people managed to pick it up. But what's it actually like? Well, it's actually not a bad tank, to be honest with you. It's better than the T-32, which is also which is the tech tree version, I think. It's got quite good HP at 1600. DPM's pretty low, 2036. Penetration is fantastic at 248. Damage is really fantastic at 400, which is pretty good going. Rate of fire, well, you're going to be getting around 5 shells per minute on a reload time of just shy of 12 seconds, realistically. Gun depression, well, it's not bad. It's a good 10 degrees, and it's a bit of a heavy beast, so you're going to be hard put to get anything more than 35 kilometers an hour out of it. The thing that makes this tank is, one, it's American, so if you stick this thing hull down, that turret is pretty difficult to pen, as you will see here. You know, he's just not being penned anywhere on that turret. And he's already done 2,428 damage, he's bounced 445, and he's giving this T26E4 a real hard time. He's now bounced 670, and this is the glorious thing about these American heavy tanks. Well, all American tanks, really, if you stick them hull down, they are pretty difficult. If you overextend like he's just done here, however, then you're gonna get shots taken into you. So, you know, it's got a good gun, it's got pretty good armor if you know how to play it. And like I said, the way you know how to play it is stick it all down, you're gonna have fun and bounce everything till the cows come home. The Tiger completely ignores him there. I don't understand why. Clearly just wanted the IS-3 out the way. So there, you know, at the end of the day, Fizz has only got one tank left. There it is. It's the Tiger P. What can he do? Well, he's going to get round it. And look at that gun, 372. I mean, it's a fantastic bit of weaponry, to be honest with you. And in the right hands, pretty formidable. I mean, I don't mind the T-34. I really don't. And you know, I don't mind the T-32 really, or even the T-29, although slightly the T-29 and the T-30 are pretty different beasts because they're TDs. It's a great tank. It's got great armor. It's got a good gun. And it was well worth it if you picked it up during the Black Friday sale. And that is a fantastic mastery. Again, this is not a tank to get an easy ace in, to be perfectly frank. And, you know, that's a great play there by Fizzy11. Well done, and I'd like to thank him for sharing that replay with us. I'm sure you agree it was fantastic gameplay. So, moving on to our next William contributor. It's my very good friend Harrier77 of 49 Div, rolling out in the KV2, the Russian Tier 6 Heavy, again on the EU server. Now, people love or loathe this tank. If you're in it and it's working for you, you love it. If you're against it, you loathe it. I mean, a lot of people compare this tank to the Death Star, the Tier 10 183. It's nothing the same, to be honest with you. I mean, okay, this thing has the ability to do this. Boom, take another KV2 out with one shot. But it's a tricky tank to master, and it's definitely a tricky tank to get to grips with. Its HP is pretty low, 860. Now, it comes with 3 guns. It's got the 107mm Ziz 6, which is a Tier 7 gun, but nobody really uses that. It's got the 122mm U11 gun, Tier 5, and nobody uses that either. Everybody uses the 152mm M10. Why? Because it's mega derpy. Simple fact of life. I mean, your DPM drops to 1,900 because the reload is huge. And I'm not even going to tell you what the penetration or the damage values are on the AP. There's no point. Let's go straight to the HE. Penetration is 86, your DPM rises to 2,850, your damage is 960 on a good eye alpha roll. Your rate of fire, well, it takes 20 odd seconds to reload, so you're only going to fire just shy of 3 rounds a minute. But that's not the point of the KV2. I mean, as you can see here, Harry has already wasted 2 tanks. One of them was a KV2 in a one-shot, and he's already done 1,600 damage and bounced 200. People play this tank because of this big derpy gun. They don't play it and stick the AP guns on it, although the AP guns are not too bad, funnily enough. I mean, if you stick in the tier 7 gun, and okay, your DPM shoots up on the AP to 2,351, but your damage is only 320, and on the HE it's only 400, and what's the fun in that? You find it hard put to waste tanks in one shot. I mean, everybody plays it for this derpy gun. Harry has now done 2,252 damage. He's wasted 4 tanks. And I really can't stress this enough. This is not an easy tank to get to grips with. Okay, it's got a derpy gun, but it's like the Death Star. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, look at that. It's just rude, isn't it? I mean, okay. A lot of people turn around and say, oh, it's OP. It's actually not OP. It isn't, because you can waste it pretty easily. Its camo value is absolutely pants. The armor isn't that great. I mean, okay, he's bounced 360, but it's not great armor. But the thing about this tank is the ability to do that. Just shy of 3,000 damage, 6 kills. Unbelievable. What a fantastic mastery and a tricky tank to master. I can't emphasize that enough. So, big thanks to my friend Harrier77 of 49 Div for sharing that replay with us. Moving on, we go to another good friend of mine, Grums23 of the clan FTC3, who's rolling out in the KV5, the Russian Tier 8 Heavy on the EU server. Now, a lot of people don't like this tank. I actually do like it. I think it's a fantastic tank if you know how to play it. Its HP is off the charts, 1,600. It's a formidable beast. DPM, yeah, okay, it's pretty low. It comes with 2 guns, both at tier 7. You got the 107mm Ziz 6M, and the DPM shoots up then to 240, but where you get the DPM, you lose the penetration, it drops down to 167. Or you've got the 107mm Ziz 6D. DPM drops to 1,949, but your pen jumps up to 219. These is on the standard rounds. I mean, if you stick the heat in, you get great penetration at 250. Damage, you're going to be knocking out about 320. Reload time, well, on this gun, which is the 6D, you're going to be looking at just shy of 10 seconds with a rate of fire of 6 rounds a minute. Aim time, it's Russian, it's 2.6 seconds. And the depression is pretty pants at 7 degrees. It's a big lumpy tank, but it gets a good turner speed at 40 kilometers an hour. As you've seen here, this tank really is a beast. Grums23 has already dished out 2,176 damage. He's also bounced 1,880 and taken 2 kills. This is a dominating tank. He hasn't even scratched his paintwork yet. This is why I think this tank is underrated. A lot of people struggle with it because they don't know how to play it. Now, the thing is, it's a proper heavy. It's a brawler and it's a bully. And if you stick it in the right position, you angle it correctly, you wiggle and jiggle, trust me, people are going to bounce. I mean, he's already bounced a shed load. And look, he just carries on bouncing and he carries on dishing out damage. The armor on this thing is fantastic. 2,690 blocks. That's more damage block than he's dished out. Oh, he's just exceeded that with 2,905 dished out. And he's still going. He hasn't even lost half his hit. Well, yeah, not even half his hit points have gone yet. And now he's bouncing from the rear. It's 2,900. This Drac just can't pen him. And then he finally gets a pen of 177. But with Grums' reload, now the Drac is in a world of pain. I mean, Grums will easily finish him off. Oh, he's going to easily finish him off anyway if he wanted to. 3 kills. Okay, he didn't get the Drac, that was the VK, but, he's doing pretty well. That T-44 has just stuck his nose right out and gets 300 straight down the middle, misses Grums completely. Oh, there's a T-29, here we go. Into the front of him, boom, big 400 roll. I do like this tank. I think it's one of the better premiums at Tier 8. It is tricky, you got to get used to it. There's kill number 4, by the way. But once you do, boy, is this a fun tank. It really is. And a lot of people do slate it. A lot of people say, oh, it's a bit meh, it's a bit... I actually like it. I think it's a great tank. Oh, that was a bit unlucky. chasing down a T-44, but it's all over because it was a supremacy game. What a fantastic mastery. Big steel wall, 4,000 damage in a KV-5. I mean, that is obscene. And if you've got this tank and you think, oh, it's a bit meh, look at this video and then really take it out again. So I'd like to thank my good friend Grums23 of the FTC3 clan for sharing that replay with us. I mean, it was a pleasure to watch. Last but by no means least, a really good friend of mine, Jonty2014 of the clan EMRS, rolling out in one of my favourite tanks in the entire game, the Mouse, the German Tier X Heavy, again on the EU server. Now, I absolutely love this tank. This is my favourite Tier X tank. Okay, it's got the best armour ever, 2,500. It's got pretty pants DPM, 2,521, pretty pants penetration, 246, reasonable damage, 460, but this is tier 10, remember. Not a bad reload time of just shy of 11 seconds, and a rate of fire of just shy of 6 rounds a minute. But watch what it can do in the right hands. I mean, look at this. The IS-4 gets one up the backside, and that's a tricky tank. That's probably one of the best tanks at tier 10. Now we've got the Mauschen, and we've got the E75. E75 goes first. Now the Mauschen, which is the baby brother to the Mouse. I mean, he's just having a whale of a time here. Oh, look at HE. Nah, maybe not. Yeah, he gives it a go just for the hell of it. And he doesn't get the kill because he HE'd him. But boy, is that fun. I very rarely see anybody stick an HE shell into a Mouse. T62, take 575 up the nose, and that'll make you wonder. Okay, he's just lost the E100 there, but I mean, he's already got 2 kills, dished out 1,655 damage. First time he's actually bounced something 310. He's hardly scratched his paintwork, and so far nobody's put shots on him realistically, apart from just. He is having a whale of time in this. Oh, hello T62. Stick another massive roll into the front. Sorry, it's a 121B. Stick a massive roll into the front of you. Give you a little nudge for a ram just to make sure. And goodbye, 121B. 3 kills, 2,923 damage. It's now 2 against 2. There is an M60 and a T62A. 2 medium tanks, which are realistically light medium tanks, against this colossal beastie. It's just track the T62A and then watch a Mouse chase a T62A for a kill. I mean, it's just fantastic to watch. I love watching Jonty2014's gameplay at the best times because he's a really aggressive player. Oh, that's a great shot from the M60 to get an engine fire. But look, it's hardly dented the Mouse. The guy in this M60 is playing really well, by the way. I mean, the M6 is not an easy tank to drive, but he's been wasted. Now the poor T62 is in for a rough time. 4,351 damage, which is a lot of damage in a Mouse, believe it or not. Another big roll into the T62. He's on 117 hit points. He has lost the game. It's as simple as that. Stick one right up his rear. Boom. 4,867 damage. Bounces 930 and kills 5 tanks. That is a thoroughly well-deserved mastery. And I'm going to leave you with my good friend Jonty2014 wasting these tanks. I mean, it was just fantastic to watch. So I'd like to thank everybody for providing and sharing their replays this week. The big calls go out to the Tiger 345 of 3XFE, Fizzy11 of the now clan FTC1, my clan, yay! Harry S77 of 49 Div, Grums23 of FTC3, and my good friend Jonty2014 of EMRS. I'm sure you agree every single one of these games was fantastic and they thoroughly deserved those masteries. Guys, if you've got great replays, or if you want your replays shown, or if you got any aces, please by all means send them to me at fujitsblitz@gmail.com. By all means, comment, like, and even subscribe if you want to. And with that, stay tuned for the next part, which will be coming up soon. And I will now say, stay safe out there, have fun on the battlefield, and happy tanking, because that's what it's all about. Fun and happiness. I'd like to say thanks again for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed those replays as much as I did, and stay tuned because there's another part yet to come along with other great stuff coming out shortly. So until the next time, bye for now.